The first day of mandatory minicamp for your Baltimore Ravens were today, and you know what? We got some juicy things to talk about. Not things on the football field, rather what Lamar Jackson had to say after practice. Because he gave us a brand new Jaire Alexander update. You are not going to want to miss what QB1 had to say. Before we get into what he had to say, make sure that you guys are subscribed to the channel because unfortunately, we're sitting in third place in the AFC North sub battle. We're going to be that by the Browns. That's not good enough. They're only up 14 subs on us. The Steelers talk is only up 23 subs. It's within reach, but I need you guys to do your part. Help me out. Hit that subscribe button. Help us prove, right here at the Ravens Rundown, to everybody I work with, that Baltimore Ravens fans are the best in the AFC North. Because that's who you're competing with. You're competing with Steelers fans, Browns fans, and Bengals fans. So we got something to prove. It's free. You lock us in. Doesn't cost you a dime. Easy to do. Help me out. Hit that subscribe button. Alrighty, Jeff Zrebeck tweeted that Lamar said he's spoken to college teammate Jaire Alexander about coming to Baltimore. Quote from Lamar, "I love all our corners, but go get them, Eric." Of course, talking about Eric DeCosta. This is a very positive update. And it's a positive update, in my opinion, for multiple reasons. Number one, it's great to know that they're still in contact with each other. Obviously, they played their college ball at Louisville together, and every single time, whether it's a joint practice or they're actually playing against each other, we've seen the camaraderie still there. And I don't want to discredit, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit more later in the show, but like a quarterback's ability to recruit, I think, is absolutely crucial, okay? And so the fact that they're talking, I think, is great. But also the fact that Lamar is talking to Eric DeCosta, I think, is wonderful. And this isn't the first time that he's been trying to recruit him. He tweeted out, tell him to slide to the Ravens back in August. But the fact that Lamar is letting the general manager know, this is what I want. This is who I want. I want my boy right here in Baltimore. That's important because general managers really like making their star quarterbacks happy. And if bringing Jaire Alexander in is what's going to make Lamar Jackson happy, then I bet you Eric DeCosta would be quick to do it. Okay, don't discredit the ability that these guys have to recruit people that they want, to get people that they want. And I still see this as something that Lamar can legitimately pull off. We've seen it pulled off a lot of times, even in the last couple of years. Think a couple summers ago. Josh Allen played a round of golf with Von Miller. Josh Allen then was like, I want Von Miller to be a Buffalo Bill. So he texted Bean, their general manager. And bada bing, bada boom, a couple weeks later, Von Miller is a Buffalo Bill. Let's talk about with buddies, though, with friends. Aaron Rodgers is the perfect example of this. When he got signed to the Jets, he wanted all of his friends to follow him. So they signed Alan Lazzard, his wide receiver in Green Bay. They signed Randall Cobb, his longtime wide receiver in Green Bay. Then they hired Nathaniel Hackett, a guy who called plays for him in Green Bay. And then the year after that, it wasn't done. They traded for Davante Adams, his longtime wide receiver one in Green Bay. Franchises like making their quarterbacks happy. And it might be in Eric DeCosta's best interest to do the same with Lamar. Now, I don't think if they don't do it, there's going to be any problems. I don't think Lamar Jackson is going to make this big stink about it. If they don't do it because they just don't think it works financially, I think Lamar will understand. But I think if you're trying to convince Jaire Alexander where to go, it helps a lot having Lamar there as one of your top spokespeople and top salesmen. So you tell me, will the Ravens sign Jaire Alexander? Let me know by giving me a yes or giving me a no in the comment section down below. Weigh in, and of course, as always, I want to hear your answers. When it comes to Jaire, it's going to come down to the money, right? That's what I hear a lot of people saying. And I also hear a lot of people saying, Joey, he's way too expensive. You're not going to be able to afford him. I don't necessarily agree with you, right? The biggest knack on him has been his lack of availability. And I think because of his injuries, that's going to drag that price down a little bit. You're not going to have to pay as much as you probably would have a couple of years ago. And also, you see it with a cornerback right now, Asante Samuel Jr. He's been in free agency for the entirety of it. He has yet to be signed. I've got a feeling he probably thinks he's worth a little bit more than he is. He's younger than Jaire is. He's coming off of an injury-plagued season just like Jaire was, and he still doesn't have a team. So I think Jaire thinks he's going to be able to get paid a lot. I think he thinks he probably deserves to get paid a lot. But I don't know if other teams are going to agree, and that's the biggest point of this all. And we got to remember, Jaire Alexander and signing a cornerback in free agency has already been on Harbaugh's mind. He spoke last week after OTAs, and of course, the head coach had this to say. And yeah, we're happy with the guys we have, and I'm very confident those guys are going to do well. We turn over every stone. You're always interested in anything you see on the waiver wire or anything else. Now, that meant something to me because that was just 10 days after Jaire Alexander's release, and he specifically mentioned seeing things on the waiver wire. And when you look at this cornerback room, it's fine, but let's just be real here. A healthy Jaire is a massive step up. It is a massive step up. If you get healthy Alexander, going from Chidobe Awuzie to him is unbelievable, okay? But that's the big kicker, the healthy part of it, because he has been very, very injury-plagued over his last 4 seasons, okay? 2021 only played in 4 games. He's missed 20 games in the last 2 years, 10 games in each of the last 2 seasons. He just hasn't been able to be on the field, and it's been a hindrance, and it's the reason he's not a Green Bay Packer anymore. So coming up, I got additional takeaways from what Lamar had to say. He spent a lot of time speaking to the media, said a lot of really great things. I'm going to break them all down for you on today's show. But before that, make sure that you guys go down to chatsports.com/purple t-shirt. That link's going to be in the comments and description of today's video. And go ahead and get yourself one for $15 off. Only $20. I know that Father's Day has come and gone, but it's my best friend Kyle's birthday today. He's not a Ravens fan. If he was, this would be a great thing to do. But birthday is going to be here. Maybe get a late Father's Day present. Christmas is not around the corner anytime soon, but you can stock up for it because right now this is not going to last long. Only $20. Chatsports.com/purple t-shirts where you need to go. Of course, that link's in the comments and description. So some additional takeaways. He's not over the loss to the Bills, which is something you love to see out of your QB1. This is coming from Jonas Schaefer. Lamar Jackson on getting over the loss. I don't think I get over losses. Said he's still hung up on some youth football losses. He went on to say if we protected the ball, we had no problem moving the ball. Protect the ball, we win. We're going to bounce back. I love the fact that it's sticking with him because it's only going to make him better. He needs to use this as fuel into this offseason, mandatory minicamp, into training camp, all of that good stuff. He needs to use this. Number 2, he still loves Mark Andrews, as he should, right? That guy has meant so much to him in his career. The guy's different, he said. He did not like how people were talking about Andrews following his drop against the Buffalo Bills. Bad use of Andrews there from Gianna. It should be Andrews with a apostrophe after the S. I digress. He really likes his target, his tight end one. The tight end one that's been his tight end one through the entirety of his career. He didn't like the way people were talking about him, but he doesn't want him to go anywhere. So if Andrews is staying, predict his stat line in 2025. Give me receptions, yards, and touchdowns, and do it in the comment section down below. Number 3, he's got grinding on the mind. That's all he's thinking about is getting better, but not just himself and not just on his own, but with his receivers as well. Jonas Schaefer tweeted out that Lamar Jackson said he plans to meet up with the Ravens receivers during their pre-training camp break. I love these guys taking trips together, building up that camaraderie, but also just becoming better football players, getting that connection together. It's all about that wide receiver quarterback connection. And doing this little pre-training camp break, training together, it's massive for him, okay? Number 4, he's not worried about the contract, okay? And I'll speak a little bit more on this tomorrow, but he said he doesn't want to talk about his contract situation. Eric DeCosta has said they're, in the early stages of talking. But Lamar is all about playing ball right now. Sure, I bet he's worried about it. He wants to get paid the way he deserves to be. He wants to be the highest paid quarterback, but that will come. He's worried about football right now, which I think is only a good thing for the Baltimore Ravens. We're going to get on out of here. Make sure you got me on social media, on Twitter, and on Instagram at Joey Petersen 8. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you are, sweet. We'll see you next time.